Hey, what's up, guys? Robert Miller here. In this video, I wanted to give you just raw, straight info as to why I went ahead and went deeper into algorithmic trading as it compares to all the other businesses that I built, and really why I think it's a no-brainer for individuals, for investors, for people with assets already, and for institutions to start adapting algorithmic trading strategies. Now, if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Robert Miller, and over the past 8 years, I've gone from being in finance to then building multiple businesses and coming back towards finance. Now, finance again was always at the core of what I was building, what I was doing, but I was building a lot of businesses, following a lot of the trends that were happening between 2000 and 2005. Those trends being, social media marketing. We then had an agency that was helping a lot of e-commerce brands and a lot of personal brands actually grow. And then from there, started to grow and scale our own e-commerce infrastructure and businesses. And then I've transitioned more into software and algorithmic trading because of some major shifts that had happened. The first shift that we saw, obviously, was the COVID shock, which made a lot of businesses digitally enabled, in which that we grew and scaled a lot of different companies and different businesses. I got to see a lot of the headaches in every single industry. So that's why I've been able to, actually market a lot of different companies, a lot of different offers and that stuff over the years. But then the second thing that was actually really important for me is as I noticed coming out of my, advertising agency, direct to consumer started to dry up a bit and needed a lot more time, needed a lot more creatives and a lot more investment into marketing. That's when I started to shift into a bit more of the legacy systems and the legacy brands. So that's when I personally started selling some of the brand known products that are out there and also started shifting and focusing more onto financial markets. That's where I launched, a hedge fund. That's when I started launching the algorithmic trading systems that we have available for our clients. But overall, what happened was I started going deeper and deeper into algorithmic trades. The ChatGPT moment changed a lot of things for the white collar worker, for a lot of the entry level workers, for the mid level management workers, and even for a lot of the executives having to have so many bodies and a lot of training, it actually has omitted a lot of that because a lot of things are becoming AI enabled. And so what I really started to realize was this AI shift can go one of two ways. You can either capture the upside of AI and the upside of the compression that AI offers to businesses and to markets and into, financial institutions, or you can be part of the problem and the things that get eliminated. So for me, I wanted to be on the side that harnesses technology in my portfolios and my business. And before then, by growing all these businesses, I got really familiar with tools like Zapier and all these automation tools, but I wasn't really deploying them into assets that were outside of my business, right? As you grow a business and you layer in CRMs, you layer in tech, you layer in bodies, you'll quickly realize how many things have to go right with all that tech and with all those people in order for the asset or the business to continue on. Versus algorithmic trading, once you deploy the software, you're actually, if you build it right, you're actually looking at the market, its behaviors, and you know the inputs going into that, whether that be Fed policy, whether that be adjustments in, certain currencies, the way that the governments are behaving. It's actually, funny enough, a lot more predictable than some of the people that can be inside of a business. And so for me, I started to focus on algorithmic trading to personally allocate towards it. But then I started opening it up for friends and family and other business owners that I knew because I know that this is a return stream that's separate than your stock, separate than your insurance, separate than bonds. I think bonds are trash right now, but overall, it was just different than the modern portfolio theory, which to me, I've always focused on alternatives. I've dedicated my career to alternative assets. I believe that the dollar continues to get debased and that the assets that are producing over 17% per year are the ones that are actually more valuable than the ones beneath that because currency debasement happens at a more rapid clip than people realize. But all the point that I'm trying to get at is that as things change and as you get more inputs as an entrepreneur, you need to be flexible. And that's what I really had to learn over the past 2 years was adopting a lot more flexibility. And so I had to first do that going from the agency space into the e-commerce space. But more importantly, I had to do that from going from the e-commerce space to the finance space. Those are two completely different niches. And obviously I studied, don't know, I studied financial analysis in college and was always finance minded, like I said earlier. But the biggest difference for me, again, was just realizing that the ones that can continue to participate and compound in markets are investors. Business owners do very well a lot of times because they're, stuck into the day to day, they're stuck into the grind. but if they're not doing the same as investors. And so that's a completely different playbook and a completely different ballgame. And so for me, I believe that, transitioning more full time into, financial assets and financial markets that are going to be here regardless of the business momentum and the business swing that happened a year ago, 2 years ago, et cetera, that I'm positioning myself for the longer term. I'm helping my clients position themselves for the longer term. And ultimately, it's more fun for me personally. So, whether you've been watching me for a long time, you're brand new to the channel, we talk here about finance. We're going to be talking a lot more about markets, but I wanted to share this raw, authentic journey that I've had, especially over the past year and a half, because I had to figure out exactly how I was going to weave in my personal findings, my personal learnings, and the person that I'm now becoming into my personal brand. And that's obviously what a personal brand is. You follow someone over time. So I just wanted to give you a quick raw check-in as to why I've mostly now focused in finance and why I'm focusing specifically on algorithmic trading. So you may see that in my videos overall going forward on this channel, but it's because I believe in the power of having systems and automations in your business. So having systems and automations in your portfolio is a very easy, not only concept to grasp, but also the performance speaks for itself when you do personal automation versus just manual trading. So I hope that that helps you guys get a bit of an understanding about me, my background, and also why I've started to really focus into the space. And if you like what we're doing, you like the information I'm giving, go ahead and click below to like and subscribe. And if obviously you want to learn more about more algorithmic trading strategies and what we're doing, go ahead and click the link in the description, which you can go ahead and watch a video breakdown and book a call with me or my team to see if it aligns with what you're looking for and if it's a good fit. So with that said, guys, I'll see you in the next video.